Hello, it's me again, Wild and Crazy Art. Wanted to come to you today just to talk to you about a few things that bother me. One of them is going to be the Donald Trump speech from the other night. Um, I guess, what was it, February 28th, 2017. Donald Trump came out and addressed Congress, and addressed America, and kind of laid out some more about the direction that they're going in, and what they've accomplished in the time that they've been there. According to most people, or I don't want to say most people, but according to a lot of people, it's been nothing but chaos. And they haven't liked how Trump has talked. They don't like the fact that he's very blunt. Um, and So there've been a lot of complaints about how he doesn't seem presidential, and he doesn't seem this, that, or the other thing. And I just want to say, first of all, I thought the speech that he laid out the other night was very presidential. And I think that he left a very good impression when he was through with that speech. Now, I'm hearing a lot of people say, well, that wasn't the real Donald Trump. He's got speechwriters that toned him down. First of all, if you know anything about Donald Trump, you can't tone Donald Trump down. Donald Trump is going to be Donald Trump. It doesn't matter who writes his speeches. It doesn't matter who does anything. And as far as speech writing, I don't know a single president out there who hasn't had speechwriters, and they're not their actual words when they're talking. Speechwriters are there to write down what your points of view are, and to write them down in a manner that is more concise, and hopefully more filled with correct facts. As we know with all presidential candidates, as we know with all any kind of politician, a lot of times their facts are kind of way off base. With Donald Trump, people seem to pick on him a lot. And in the last 8 years, you didn't have that. People weren't out there, especially the media wasn't out there just really attacking President Obama on a lot of his issues. And I'm not saying that they should. What I'm saying is there's a problem, is that we tend to want to go ahead and attack people instead of build them up. This country right now needs unity. And I believe that's what President Trump is trying to do. He's trying to bring this country together. What people don't seem to understand is he's trying to bring this country together. He's trying to bring the people of this country together. We've grown to a point now where we have to be more cautious about who we allow into the country, and we have to also be more cautious about where our tax dollars go to take care of the people who are in this country. Now, I don't see anything wrong with the fact, if you're here legally, that you should be able to get the benefits of living in this country. But if you're here illegally, you really have no rights to any of this country's tax dollars. If you want to become legal, if you want to follow the legal steps to be legal, then do it. Now, the only place where I will change my thoughts on that is if you came over here with your parents and you were a young child, and you've actually been allowed in the public school systems, and you've went through your entire life in the school system, I think that should qualify you as being legal. That's my point of view. You've been raised in the schools, you know our rules, you know our laws, you speak the English language, the American language. You should be allowed to be legal. As far as people from other countries, from Islamic countries and everything else, I completely understand why we don't want to allow them into the country right now, or at least to come into the country right now. If you look at history, back during World War II, the Japanese Americans that were here, they were put into almost like concentration camps, because of the fear of Japanese. And I'm not saying that was right, not Americanized Japanese people, but they were put in these camps. And every president that I know of that has come across issues like this have oftentimes said that we need to close the borders off, or we need to close off the international travel in times of fear. But see, the problem with some of that is that our government has made us afraid of so many things that we don't need to necessarily be afraid of. I know I have friends that are, I guess, Muslim or from Muslim countries, and I think they're awesome people. Now, that's what the people thought about, some of the people that dealt with 9/11. But you can't hold a whole group responsible for the actions of a few. And if I know some Muslims, like I say, I think that are awesome people, and I would trust them with everything I've got. Now, could they mess me up? Could they do something wrong? Yeah, they could. But so do my American friends, and sometimes even American family. So you can't. You got to be careful with all that. But I agree with the idea of right now not letting new people come into this country if there's a potential for terrorist activity. But now, when you listen to his speech the other night, his speech was toned down from the past, and I think that was a good thing. And I don't want to see people suddenly now they want to pick on the fact that he sounded presidential or sounded good. That now he's fake or he's phony or whatever. He's trying to bring this country together. People, wake up. He's trying to bring this country together. You can say he's being divisive all you want, but he's not. If you actually listen to his words, he really does want to see this country come together. He is trying to bring business back to this country. And he's trying to get jobs back for our people. So I think it's time. It's time for you to give him a chance and let him do what he's going to do. We didn't riot and all these kind of things when Obama was running for president, and when he won the presidency, we accepted it. Some of us didn't like it. I wasn't an Obama fan. Some of us didn't like it, but he was our president, and so I respected him and I respected the office. And I expect that those of you that are Donald Trump detractors and don't like, I expect you to go ahead and respect the office and respect the president. If you want to make things better, if you want to change things, then come up with a plan and then go out there and do it. Be a part of I say this all the time, be a part of the solution, not a part of the problem, because every single time you just run your mouth and don't do anything to better this country, you're a part of the problem. Okay? I can't go out here and do a whole lot of things. So I'm one of these people that does just run my mouth, but I try to run my mouth in a very constructive fashion without bringing people down, without tearing people up. I try to call things the way that I see them. And I think the way and I believe that the way that we should all look at them. Now I come to you from a Christian standpoint, and I believe we should love everyone. God says to love our neighbor, and that would include people from other countries. But again, we're not called to stupidity. We have to be smart about the things that we do. And the American people are so fickle, they don't know what they want from one day to the next. They want all this kind of security, but they hate the waits that they have to go through in airports or train stations or whatever, the way they get delayed for things. They want everybody to eat, but they really don't want their taxes to go up. People can't make up their minds as to what they want. So what I'm telling you is right now we got to take what we have. We have President Donald Trump. President Donald Trump. Now, like him or don't like him, but you should like and respect our country, and you should like and respect the office of the president. So therefore, you should respect the President Trump. Give him a chance. He is, as far as I can tell, he's done more in his first 100 days in office than most presidents do. He is trying to do the things that he said that he was going to do. Now, is he getting them all done? No, there's no way one man can get everything done that he wants to do. But he can try to set the example, and he can try to lead this nation in a direction that we need to go. Now, I get people that tell me all the time how crazy I am or how stupid I am, but I'm telling you now, I've been in this country 55 years, and in these 55 years, I've watched this country fall apart. I've seen some good times and I've seen some bad times, but this country has gone down because of the way that we have allowed things to change. I'm not saying change isn't a good thing, but we've allowed things to change. We took Bibles out of our school. We rewrite what the Constitution says about religion. We have allowed people to kill their children before they're born. And I'm not going to call it abortion. I'm going to call it what it is. It's murder. They are allowed to murder their children. They scream about wanting choice. It's their choice. And I don't have a right to speak on it because I'm a man. Well, guess what? Everybody in this world has a choice. They're absolutely right. And I know you've heard this before. Everybody in this world has a choice. But you do not have a right to use your choices to go ahead and harm another individual. That's why you can't go out here with a gun and go shoot somebody because you think that's your choice. I don't like them, so I'm going to shoot them. That's illegal. Abortion should be just as illegal. It's killing somebody. Your choice came when you went to bed. When you went to bed and when you laid down and you made that baby, that was your choice. Once you made that baby, you no longer have a choice. You no longer have a choice. You have no choice and no right to kill another individual. You never have and you never will. That has been distasteful to God and to man for so many years, but we decided to change it. But if you look at all those things, you look at what those changes have made and done, and you can see in a constant downward spiral where we've gone. Now, I'm going to have a couple of other videos posted up in here in my opinion that doesn't matter thing. I don't want these all to be very long, so my next one's going to be, in fact, I'm going to do it right after this one, but my next one's going to be about taxes. So if you're interested in that, tune in and you can check that one out. But this is just my little rant about Donald Trump and where we are and where we're going with this country. Take a look, take a listen. Go ahead and tell me how dumb I am and leave comments. Appreciate you.